Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS as well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Ainal. The title of the video is, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen. And basically, what that title means is that these devils in the land of Israel are basically now profaning the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua because they're pretending to be the people of the Bible. And while they're pretending to be the people of the Bible and, basically children of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the world is watching what they're doing and the world is upset. And the world is now basically talking shit about the Bible and the people of the Bible and all the laws, the statutes, and commandments because these devils. And that pretty much that's what's happening. And we got a video that I'll get into to show you the things that they be doing. It's just one of the many, right? The usual suspects is these devils. Anything going down, anybody randomly get shot in the esophagus, all of these different things. It's always the usual suspects behind the scenes, pulling the strings because they run and own the whole entire world, right? And that is those Amalekites, which are Edomites, that the scriptures speak about, right, which are going to perdition. This is Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first." This is talking about the Israelites. The Israelites fell away from who they were as a people. You get Jeremiah 17, verse 4, lets us know that we discontinued from our heritage, which is precept, of course. We discontinued from our heritage and we forgot who we were. And that was the falling away, right? But now we're being drawn back, pursuant to Ezekiel chapter 37, the breath entering into the dry bones. That is talking about the Israelites waking up on their feet, right? It goes into saying exceeding great army, right? Because we are many, right? And this is a spiritual war. We're fighting against lies. So we tell the truth, right? And then it goes on to say, "In that man of sin being revealed." So the man of sin is being revealed because he went out pursuant to Revelation chapter 20, around verse 7, to deceive the world. And he deceived them in many different ways. One of those ways was, making people believe that he was just this morally correct person, that he's not a devil, he's not wicked, and all of that. But now, all these things are coming to light: the child sacrifice, the child PDF files, the animal sacrifice, the animal sexual acts, the raping, of men and women, right? And all of it is coming out. The wars, the false flag events, right? And even what they're trying to do now, Greater Israel, the control of the money system, all of it is being revealed because it ties directly to the wicked who run the world. And this is the son of perdition, right? And the word perdition means destruction, and he's going into destruction. We saw, But here it says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." And he's making you believe that he is one with God. Basically, he's showing that to the world, but behind closed doors, he's doing everything in his power to come against God. And, and you can see that on the outside too, and people still don't see it. You got LGBTQ and all this stuff, and he hides this behind love. And there ain't no love. All right, ain't no love. The love is the keeping of the commandments, right? And his commandments are not grievous, right? And now you have people, them devils definitely don't follow. They have the Talmud, right? And then there is full of wickedness, and basically they're pushing wickedness on the people. All right. So anyway, it says and that's the deception right there, and that's the profaning of Yahweh's name. It says, "Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now you know what withhold it." Make sure this is good. That he may be revealed in his time. So the wicked will be revealed in his time, and his time is now. He's been revealed. It says, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way." So basically, Yahweh, allow this devil to rule and be hidden and this that so that prophecy may be fulfilled. And that was that he will rule the last kingdom, which is the Roman Empire. This is the revised Roman Empire. It's a branch of the Roman Empire, and I'm talking about America, right? And this is where basically these devils rule out of, as in America runs the world. So the elite, the wicked, run the world through America. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel Shai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, will all power and signs and lying wonders. So this is how this devil came, right? He deceived everybody, even the 2/3 that's not written in the book of life. He will deceive, right? But the elect, it's not going to be that easy. You want to accomplish deceiving the elect. So we have that. Let me grab this. This is Proverbs 29 and so I forgot what I wanted from here, but I'm gonna find it. Oh, it's right here, verse 2. All right, Proverbs 29 and 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And basically the people are mourning, they're angry, they're talking shit, they're biting back, and they're doing it against the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel, right, in his book, because of the people that are pretending to be Israelites and are not. So I got this video here. This is Rumble. The statute declare of, being able to do this for research, history, learning, spectation. I'm not getting paid or anything like that. We're gonna play some of this. And what he's gonna do is show how, these fake cosplaying Edomites that pretend to be the people of the Bible are basically the wicked of the earth, right? It says his title is, they are not like us at all. Mob of Jewish attacked U.S. woman in Brooklyn, New York for her free speech. Israel, the only democracy, our greatest ally. And this dude he's upset. All right, he's upset. But I'm gonna play like 5 to 6 minutes of this.
Universities are attacked by a mob of Arabs and pro-Palestinians, anti-Israel, anti-Semites.
And there most likely will be ads.
I'm not denying something like this could happen, but where's the reverse?
So what he said before that was basically, you check video, I gave the title. He was saying that Trump attacks people that attack the Jewish people, but he said, where's the reverse for when the Jewish people attack American citizens?
All right, let's move on. Here it is. This guy said, I'm going to fuck you up. They're right there, including this teenage imbecile. All right, this is America, quote unquote. One of the men can be heard saying, we got Israel. We got an army now. Yes, they're going to use the imbeciles in America to fight their idiotic divine war against Iran, because God, their Yahweh, said, you know what? I promised you other people's lands, but hey, you're all my children.
And okay, so the scriptures tell us clearly that they'll be happy in the kingdom, and of course they'll be happy because the correct order will be established. Because he's, like I say, he's going to talk shit, but he's barking up the wrong tree, basically, right? This is Isaiah 2:1. It says, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house, right, his name is Yahweh, shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people of these nations shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahweh, to the house of the power of Jacob, right, the true Israelites, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord Yahweh from Jerusalem. Now, I can ask you questions like, do you want food with no poison in there? Do you want, animals to be in the correct order? Families to be in the correct order? A righteous, governance of lands. And that's what they're trying to do right now with BRICS nations and things like that. All they complain about is how unfair and fucked up the things is. And they're trying to make it better. Well, the Lord Yahweh Bashman is going to make it better. The people that are in the land right now are not the correct people. And that's why the people are mourning and things are offset, you know, and so on and so forth. It says, to the house of the God, the power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashmi from Jerusalem. And this is what I wanted to point out, that the nations are gonna wanna they're gonna want they're gonna want these laws. They're gonna want us in power, all right, because they're gonna see the difference. It's gonna be way better. It says, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares. Oh, do you want to continue on wars? Do you want to keep fighting and killing your sons and your daughters and all of that, going to wars and all of that? That's what you're about? Or do you want peace? Right? That's what's going to happen when we get established. Peace. True peace, not fake phony peace where they invite Iran to a peace agreement and Iran tells them, fuck you and your fake phony political party bullshit, basically, because it's not real, right? Peace is not coming. It says, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So if you don't like war or anything like that, you should bet on the Israelites. Anyway.
Now, idiocracy at the highest. At one point, she and the police officer were nearly cornered against the building, the video shows. I will play it right here. Right there. At what point she and a police officer, pop. I felt sheer terror, the woman recalled. I realized at that point that I couldn't lead this mob of men to my home. I had nowhere to go. I didn't know what to do. I was just terrified. Okay, let's play the graphic content. Criminal, I would say. Ready? Go. The friend...
I went outside to see what was going on.
It's America.
I saw that there had been a protest that was over, but there were still hundreds of Orthodox Jewish men, mostly men, in the streets and the sidewalks. And there were a few neighbors, including myself, standing on the sidewalk just observing. When people
Hope, we don't want that.
filming near me, I pulled my scarf up over my face because I didn't want to be on camera. And as soon as I did this, a Jewish woman began screaming at me, and just a group of like 100 men came over immediately and encircled me. They threatened to
Medieval
rape me. They were
speaking.
hurling vile insults at me. I moved closer to the police than I already was, and they did nothing to intervene. I tried to leave, and a single officer attempted to escort me home, but this mob followed us. They grew in number. They were screaming at me, "Go back to Palestine." They were shouting death to Arabs. They kicked me in the back multiple times. They spat on me. They threw objects at my head. They threw a trash can and a traffic cone at me. And I was just terrified. There's nothing more I can say except that I felt just sheer terror.
All right, got it? Got it, my friends? This is America. They're the same as we are. They live in the medieval times, maybe even before that. Why don't they say they're like a 500 years, 1,000 years history of that? Well, you can say it's just a group. Well, I thought it's America, it's not Jerusalem. I'm going to show you Jerusalem with Sasha Cohen, a Jewish guy. All right, let's move on. What do we have here? This is how it's portrayed now. Different euphemisms. Reuters. New York probes reported counter-protest assaults during Israel officials' visit.
All right, so what he's saying now is this is how that incident is being reported by these people, who basically run the internet, which is the same people that was hurting this lady here.
Oh, counter-protest. And we have this guy right there. Oh, it's nice you got a fucking retard shit in your ear. Good job. I hope a cock goes in there. All right. There you go. New York City mayor on Saturday said the police were investigating a series of incidents that have erupted from clashing pro-Palestinian protests and pro-Israeli counter-protest. Next one. We are always supposed to feel sorry and empathy for them. Israeli tourists asked to sign war crimes declaration while visiting Kyoto. Oh my God. It seems like reality caught up with them. There is a former Israeli Defense Ministry, IDM Ministry, former fighter was asked in Kyoto in Japan to sign a declaration that he did not commit any war crimes in Gaza. Gaza, I think it's a genocide, and what's going in Gaza, just look at the pictures. And you talk about Ukraine, give me a...
Right. So we clearly see that these devils is causing the name of the Lord, to be profound now, because they're trying to represent him in the worst way possible. This is Ezekiel 35:11. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmi, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashmi, and I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. And this is talking about the heathen that are currently the Edomites, right, that are currently in Israel. It says, thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me, I have heard them. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmi power, right? And this is what they're doing, right? They do this behind the closed doors too, but their actions, and then claiming to be the people and all of that, It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmi, when the whole earth rejoices, I will make thee desolate. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, so they was happy. Which is, I believe, in Ezekiel 36, and I'll grab it. It says, as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashmi. So, the people gonna know when Yahweh come, when Yahweh Bashmi come and set his name aright, basically, and destroy the people, right? That's destroying the earth. Then they gonna know, like, oh, even Wisdom of Solomon says that Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. Oh, them the guys, right? The ones they look for not to rule was actually the Israelites, right? You can grab it, yeah. So they gonna feel it. This devil deceived the whole world, to making them believing that they was the people. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometime in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools account of his life madness, and his end to be without honor. And I mean, even the dude, he's seen that 2/3 Jake, obviously a puppet of the Edomites, he got upset, but he's still a Jake, But it's all about the leg though. He says, we fools account his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh Bashmi, and his lot is among the saints? It goes on. So like, oh, wait, these the people, yeah, because this shit is about to blow up, and we will be delivered pursuant to Lord willing, the whole select will be delivered pursuant to Matthew 24 around verse 30. All right.
Yeah, break. And did you hear Trump saying anything about that? Sanctioning Israel? No, because he's owned by them. I will just say it. Let's move. So here it is. Do I think it's all right? No, I don't think it's all right. Israel ambassador to Japan spoke during a press conference. Okay, a hotel in the Japanese city of Kyoto asked an Israeli traveler who had served in the Israel Defense Forces to voluntarily sign a declaration asserting that he had not committed any war crimes during his time in the military. The Wild Vida guest house shared a social media a copy of the form it asked for the Israeli Navy fighter to sign last week, noting that the business was later visited by officials in Kyoto who required blah, 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 blah. I don't think that's right, but I think what's going on over there, it's no less than a genocide. They want to push those guys out and not allow them to come back. But hey, let's go to Sasha Cohen.
Okay, so we'll get Isaiah 32. Isaiah 32:5. It says, the vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the troll said to be bountiful. Get Isaiah 30. These are the same devils. Right? These devils went out and conquered the planet Earth, right? Because Yahweh allowed this to happen for prophecy. But these people chased them away. These Edomites and power people shoot. You know, like you see a fucking rat on the floor. Shoot, get out of here. You know, try to step on it and shit. It says Job 30:1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision. The least of the people, the lower of the people. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I will have disdain to have set with the dogs of my flock. You ever, you know, dog is raped by a family of 5 or whatever, everybody in there. It's a whole Edomite family, just one dog. Sad as hell, right? It says, yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. Let me get this NLT. He says, a lot of good they are to me, those worn out wretches. For want and famine, he basically talking shit. And he's not even talking shit, he's just talking the truth. You know, he's like, yo, these people, even the scriptures say, they're going to be like, these were the people, you know, that basically had, you know, the whole world in subjection, you know, roughly paraphrasing the scriptures. When we get these devils back to their natural habitat, their natural position, which is a servant, right? It says, yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, and former time desolate and waste. These are the people that was in the Caucasus Mountains, Mount Seir, right? During the Byzantine Empire, the Dark Ages they call it, when they don't know what the fuck happened. Let me tell you what happened. The Israelites was ruling Rome, and they hid the history. And them, they was in caves, right? And this is what they was doing. It says, for want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, and former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief after a thief. Yo, watch. It's not in Lord of the Rings. It's like the dragon girl. You know, she be riding dragons. Let me see. Game of Thrones. The wildlings, that was Esau. You saw they had gates, big ass high wall. It was they didn't want the wildlings in there. That's how it was when Esau was around. It says they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. Shoot, get out of here! Shoot, get out of here! It says to dwell in the clefts of the valleys, and caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yeah, children of base men. They were valor than the earth. So Yahweh set these devils up because we sinned against him, right? So he set them up to punish us. But this devil has gone too far. You look what he's doing. And now he's trying to accomplish this master plan of conquering everything, and even trying to conquer Yahweh Bashanah Shine his prophecies by implementing a chip, right, to separate man from Yahweh. It says Isaiah 32:5, the vile person shall no more be called liberal, right? Nor the troll said be bountiful. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity. So this is what's happening. This devil went out to deceive the nations. And I'll grab it since I keep saying it. Revelation 20:7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, so what? The Byzantine Empire around, 96 AD to the 1400s, right when what? The Renaissance period started, and now the dark ages, and it's the Renaissance. That's what happened, right? Revelation 20:7, and when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, those mountains. It says, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle. So Esau will come back, deceive y'all, and gather Russia to battle. That's what's happening now. That's why Russia could never join NATO. How many times Russia was over there hugging presidents, laughing, kiki, hollering, trying to join NATO, and they just never let it happen? That's because the powers that be didn't want it to happen because they're going to war. The number of whom is as the sun of the sea, because this battle is going to be the battle of Armageddon, right? World War III. All right. All nations involved, for the most part. Isaiah 30:26, for the vile person shall speak villainy. So he deceived y'all in believing that he was good, but now we're at the end, where the Most High Yahweh Bashmi Shah is making this devil bare, right? He's showing the world his nakedness because he's at his end. It's over for him. That's what's happening. These are the effects and signs of the end. Like, damn, how do we know all this stuff about the devil? All these, that's what's happening. Isaiah 47:1. Calm down, virgin Lord of Babylon, and sit in the dust, for your days of sitting on the throne have ended, O Lord of the Babylonian. Never again will you be the lovely princess, tender and delicate. People don't want to, people want to go to America and, vacation and all that. They're avoiding America. It says, take heavy millstones and grind flour, remove your veil and strip off your robe, expose yourself to public view. You will be naked and burdened with shame. I will take vengeance against you without pity. Our Redeemer, whose name is the Lord Yahweh, Bahashmiah of heaven's armies, is the Holy One of Israel. Right? So that's who's exposing this devil right now. Yahweh Bahashmiah. All right. It says, for the vow, Isaiah 26, as for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, to utter error against the Lord Yahweh Bahashmiah, to make empty the souls of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instruments also the true are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. But liberal devises liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. That's the righteous, right? When a righteous, so that y'all, this is what y'all gonna want. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, people mourn. Y'all mourning.
I watched this guy's movie. He's Jewish, obviously. They wanted to really kill me. How Sacha Cohen, Baron Cohen, fled for his life as angry mob tried to stone him. Stone him is the Old Testament way of justice in the Israeli Torah, the Old Testament, that you like, that your pastor tells you, oy vey, we should help the poor guys. Stoning to death. Not the Greco-Roman civilization, the Judeo-Christian culture. Sasha outraged Hasidic Jews in Jerusalem by wearing a camp version of their traditional costume. Okay, Borat star Sacha Cohen, Baron Cohen, had to run for his life when he was chased by a furious rock-wielding gang. This is Jerusalem, but they're like us. They're not like us. He outraged Hasidic Jews in Jerusalem by wearing a camp version of their traditional costume. All right, let's go to another one. They wanted to really kill me. Cohen details Bruno disaster video. Not this one, not this one. Is right here the video in a second. Sacha Baron Cohen, Hasidic Jews tried to kill me in Jerusalem. Got it? And here is the video. I'm gonna play the video for you, my friends. Ready?
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Great, is that Mark Jacob? Look, stop the car! Look!
This is not a comedy. This is not a comedy. They really want to fuck him up. Do you remember those Christians who walked to Jerusalem, the holy city? Remember? And the Jews are spitting on them. It's on YouTube.
You see this shit? You see this is what these fake cosplaying Amalekites are doing, giving the name of Yahweh Bashman Shah a bad name, right? Because they're trying to pretend like they about the Bible and they're really not, right? They're about the Talmud, and that shit is wicked as fuck. So let me grab this. I want to grab this. I forgot to grab it, but this is second Ezra chapter 6, 18, and it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition to of them what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of signs shall be fulfilled. What Lamentations 4:21 goes into that. We're at the end of our judgment, right? Pretty much, and Esau is at the beginning of his, right? And that's why he's been visited, and all this stuff is coming out about him. And that I want to grab this too, because that's pretty much all I had. So this is Ezekiel 36. And this is the point. Israel is to be renewed for his name's sake. The Most High Yahweh Bashman Shah is coming back to renew us for his name's sake. Because he put his name on us. We're engraved in the palm of his hand and all of that. So for his name is very important. And for we profane his name, and we sin against him. And look what the hell the Most High did to us. Now these devils are gonna get it double. Because now they pretending to be the Israelites. And they doing a horrible job at it. Look at them, no swag. They always got the same black outfit on, the curly things on the side of their head. Ezekiel 36, the scripture say, ye are the salt of the earth. Right? Ezekiel 36 and 22. Matter of fact, sorry, 16. I'm reading this whole thing. Ezekiel 36 and 16. Make sure this is still up. Ezekiel 36 and 16. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashman came unto me, saying, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doings. Matter of fact, where is it? Right here. So, mind you, we just read Ezekiel 35, where they was happy to have the land, and this is what it was talking about. So it says Ezekiel 36 and 2. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashman Shah, because the enemy have said against you, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. So the current people in the ancient high places, right, which is Jerusalem, is the enemy. They ain't the people, they the enemies. Therefore, prophesy and say, thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashman Shah, because they have made you desolate, they made us desolate. Slavery, right? And they did more than they were supposed to do, and swallow you up on every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. What nation not had part in our downfall, basically? All the nations had a part in it. It says, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers and are an infamy of the people. So the Most High is going to bring judgment on them for that. And it's starting now. It's happening. You can see it. That's what's happening. Judgment. Right? Righteous judgment. Joel 3. Jehoshaphat. You be the ultimate judgment. The valley of the Lord. Yahweh Bashman Shah. All right, that's World War III for your ass. All right, Ezekiel 36, 16. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashman Shah came unto me, saying, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doing. Because what Trump said, we're going to try to prevent World War III. Yeah, nah, that's not happening. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. A woman on cycle. She's unclean. She got to get, go to a separate place. But in the kingdom, we don't have mansions on top of mansions, right? Many cities, many houses, many mansions. So she's going to be somewhere still good, chilling, a whole area to herself. Anyway, Ezekiel 36, 18. Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land and for the idols wherewith they had polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathen. So the Israelites were scattered among the heathen, not in the land over there. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings. I judged them. And when they entered unto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name. And when they said to them, these are the people of the Lord Yahweh Bashman Shai, and are going forth out of his land. See this in NLT. That's what happened, because we was wicked, we fell off. But now we coming back as a people, right? We're not the ones spitting on Christians. Matter of fact, the Christians are spitting on us. They think we lying. And meanwhile, the ones is the actual liars is spitting on you. It's like, oh, God bless them. NOT. But when they were scattered among the nations, they brought shame on my holy name. For the nation said, these are the people of the Lord Yahweh Bashman Shai, but he couldn't keep them safe in his own land. And he was mocking, talking shit. It said, but I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whither they went. Therefore, therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Shai, I do this not for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whither ye went. You know, let's get this word profane. To profane, defile, pollute, desecrate. Yo, they got a kosher pig, kosher pork. They got the biggest LGBT parades in the world. They do the PDF files with children all over the world, and they run back to the Holy Land to be protected. They was saying that later they're gonna rape her, you know, and they're pretending to be the people, profane the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashim. So they're gonna get double. You get that? You know, it's in Revelation. Let me grab it. Please. Revelation 18. 6. Revelation 18:6 NLT. Do to her as she has done to others. Double her penalty for all her evil deeds. She brewed a cup of terror for others, so brew twice as much for her. I'm going to go back to 5. Revelations 18:4. Then I heard another voice calling from heaven, come away from her, my people. Do not take part in her sins, or you will be punished with her. For her sins are piled as high as heaven, and Yahweh remembers her evil deeds. The fall of Babylon. Babylon's America. 18:6. Do to her as she has done to others. Double her penalty for all her evil deeds. She brewed a cup of terror for others, so brew twice as much for her. You know? All right, so Ezekiel 36:23. And I will sanctify my great name, was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them, and the heathen shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Shai, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Shai, when I have sanctified in you before their eyes, when I shall be sanctified. Now let me grab this one, if I can find it. Because he says the same thing about the destruction, right, of Babylon. I think it's in Revelations too. All right, so let me see if I can find this. Well, I mean, we got this one. We got this one. 033. You know, they gonna know. All right, so we can use this. I'll use this. Let me see it real quick. Let me see if they got something in Revelations. Nope. Okay. All right, so we use these scriptures for the to represent now because the same thing is about to happen now. How the Lord destroyed Jerusalem, basically. You know, and us as a people, it's the same way He's going to destroy America, right? And the same thing is happening. The message is going out, right? And people are not repenting, so people know, you know, because I can't find, you know, the next scripture. If a brother know, you know, a scripture representing the heathen knowing, you know, that it was the Lord that destroyed this place, which they will know, you know, of course. You can throw it in the comment section. But this is Ezekiel 33 and 28. It says, "For I will lay the land most desolate, and the pomp of her strength shall cease, and the mountains of Israel shall be desolate, that none shall pass through. Then shall they know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai, when I have laid the land most desolate because of their abominations which they have committed." Right. So the nation is going to know, you know, got what point I wanted. So this is Ezekiel 36 and 24. "For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries, will bring you into your own land." So this is a future prophecy that's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. And the fake Amalekites in that land, they're not saying this is what happened. You know, they're saying we did it. You know, Isaiah 10 says that, you know, that they think of themselves, you know, that they accomplished this, you know, so they think they brought themselves to their own land. But Yahweh's coming back with a destruction, right, to bring us to our own land. It says, "For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and you shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from your idols will I cleanse you." Right, going into what? The new covenant, Hebrews 8, right? It says a new heart. That's the new. The new covenant. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you in the heart of flesh. Okay. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do them. And right now, we are sinful people. Because we have these sinful bodies. We're going to get new bodies. It says, "And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your power." Right. So no sins will be committed. No kosher pig, no LGBTQ parties, none of that. It says, "I will also save you from all your uncleanness, and I will call for the corn, no more wars," right? "And will increase it and lay no famine upon you." We won't need to fight or do anything like that. We will have all the food we need, right? You won't telling people, get out of our land, get out of here. You ain't gonna be saying that. And I will multiply the fruit of the tree and increase of the field, that ye shall receive no more reproach of famine among the heathen. Then shall ye remember your own evil ways and your doings that were not good, and shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and for your abominations. Those proud as devils in Jerusalem, they not doing that, right? They're doubling down. People talk about peace, and what they do, still strike. Those are not the people. It says, "Not for your sakes do I this, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, be it known unto you, be ashamed and confounded for your own ways, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, in the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities, I will also cause you to dwell in the cities, and the waste shall be builded. And the desolate land shall be tilled, whereas it lay desolate in the sight of all that pass by. And they shall say, this land that was desolate is become like the Garden of Eden. And the waste and desolate and ruined cities are become fenced and are inhabited." Then the heathen that are left round about you shall know. Ooh, oof, oof. Then the heathen that are left round about you shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bashman Shai. I, the Lord Yahweh Bashman Shai, built the ruined places and plant that was desolate. I, the Lord Yahweh Bashman Shai, spoken it and will do it. So it's going to happen. And they're going to know. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, and it's for his holy name's sake. It says, Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashman Shai, I will yet for this be inquired of by the house of Israel. Yeah, we're inquiring right now. Oh Lord, will you now at this time establish the kingdom? Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, will yet for this be inquired of by the house of Israel to do it for them. I will increase them. We hasten the day. I remember one person was like, they was upset about the hasten the day. You obviously don't know what they're involved in. I will increase them with men like a flock. We're gonna be having mad sex in the kingdom, all right, multiplying like hell. Right? That's something else these devils wanting to stop. Now women can't have births. They rather give a man an artificial womb so they can mingle with themselves. Because I want to shout out to Elder Pastor Ricard. I want to say the F word, but I can't fucking say it. It says Ezekiel 36 and 38, as for the holy flock, as the flock of Jerusalem, as the holy flock, as the flock of Jerusalem in her solemn feast, so shall the waste cities be filled with flocks of men, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, Bashmi Avashah, for his holy name's sake. And these devils are polluting, so the Most High will destroy them. So, you see, I think that was it on this. He goes on ranting about the Jewish people and how they control everything, and I was just it's fucking crazy. But anyway, Shalom to the hopeful elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.